Jennifer Haverkamp. She is the director of the Graham Sustainability Institute at the University of Michigan. She was also a special representative for the Obama State Department. Jennifer, great to have you with us on this very, very important issue. I want to start by asking how the U.S. will accomplish this ambitious goal, this climate goal, which includes, we know, having those greenhouse gas emissions by the year 2030.
Thank you for the question and for having me on your show. The goal is ambitious. There are several routes they could take to get there, but at the highest level, what they have to do is transform all the sectors of the economy away from their reliance on fossil fuels. This requires increasing the electrification of the fleet of vehicles. It requires getting away from coal to burn electricity and moving to much more wind and solar. It requires more stringent built efficiency standards for appliances, retrofits of buildings. It also means protecting the forests and lands that we have to keep the carbon that's already being held in those trees in there rather than releasing it into the air. It will take an effort, a political effort across all the sectors of the economy, the cities, the states, the federal government, but it's doable. It's technologically doable.
I appreciate your optimism. As someone who throughout their career, Jennifer, has negotiated multiple international climate agreements, it's obviously challenging enough to try to get your own nation to change its habits. But how challenging will this be? Again, U.S. President Joe Biden is trying to aim to be a leader in this. How difficult will it be to get other nations on board?
I think that another reason to be optimistic is the response that countries have made so far to the Biden administration, that he got so many world leaders to accept his invitation to the summit that's happening today and tomorrow. He has made this ambitious commitment. On his very first day in office, he rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement. He appointed former Secretary of State John Kerry to a climate envoy role. So every sign is that the United States is back very seriously. And I think countries were waiting to see what would happen, whether they should go along with the United States. To a certain extent, they've realized that we're all in trouble if every country doesn't do its part. So they have already moved ahead themselves in some ways. But with the U.S. back at the table and with this ambitious goal, I do think we'll see more effort coming from its peers as well.
How challenging, Jennifer, we mentioned the politics at the top of this, do you think it'll be to get congressional Republicans on board and not just from that standpoint, but also to balance this with more progressive climate change plans?
It's a challenge. I think one of the reasons, again, to be encouraged is that you see the business sector, you see the major companies in the United States also coming forward and saying, we want this ambitious climate goal from the United States. We see this as what is needed to move us to a low carbon economy that will keep us competitive on the world stage. And so what you need is the politicians to listen to them, to listen to the American public, to listen to the science. I think that there are encouraging signs in terms of some of the legislation that has been proposed and coming forward, but it still will be a heavy lift because of our history of political divisiveness on this topic.
Jennifer Haverkamp, we appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.